Have you ever been told that what's in your garage or shed is too old to be used because if it ever breaks, finding the parts you need is going to be a real pain for you? Now, it's not impossible, but then again, nothing's impossible if you have a lot of money to spend. But what about the stuff that's right on the edge of being an antique? When is something too old to be considered worth fixing? Well, we're getting ready to find out. In today's video, we're going to be looking at this Toro Super Recycler lawnmower. Yes, that's a real thing, and the problem is that I need to do a preliminary inspection and diagnosis on it to find out if we'll be able to flip it this season for a couple of extra bucks. Now, I've already fixed this mower, and if you want to see that video, there should be a link to it at the top of the screen or at the end of this video. And I'm just going to use the video as a background while I talk about some of the problems when choosing older mowers to pick up and flip for extra money. So what exactly does that mean? Well, I think the best way to describe it is to use cars as an example, and that's because visually it'll make more sense. So if you were in the market to get a second used car, how old is too old, and does mileage matter? Now, the mileage is a lot easier to deal with, and that's because on vehicles, you'll have an odometer to tell you. But for 99% of most lawn mowers, you won't have a meter telling you the mileage or runtime in this case. So how are you supposed to go about choosing a lawnmower then? Well, with luck, I guess. Now, there is a way to tell how much use a lawnmower has seen, but it takes a little bit of looking around to see them. So here's the deal, just like on tires on a car, there's going to be visible wear on certain parts. The same goes for lawnmowers, and on this one, the tread on the tires will help out a lot. Now, most owners will never replace the wheels and tires on their mower unless it's the drive wheels. And if they do replace those wheels, more than likely, they're not going to replace the non-driven wheels. That means if some of the tire treads on the mower are worn down, it's a pretty good indication that the mower's been used quite a bit. Now, if we look at the tread on this mower's tires, you're going to see that they're not new by any means. However, they are showing some signs of wear. Of course, this isn't going to tell you how much wear is on the engine, but it does give you a pretty good idea though. Now, if the age of the mower or its build date is important to you, then you can either find the build date on the engine or on the mower itself. Now, as long as the blower housing for this engine is original to this machine, according to the numbers on it, it was made back in 2001, which was a very long time ago. That means at the time of this video, this engine and probably the mower is well over 22 years old, which is a long time for something like this. Now, going back to the car analogy, older cars are a lot easier to spot, and that's because cars from decades ago will look a lot different from current vehicles. Now, for lawnmowers, it's about the same. However, it's a bit harder to tell unless you're some kind of expert when it comes to mowers. But generally speaking, mowers from decades ago will have different styling, and if it's not obvious to you, the way the engine looks should give it away as well. Now that we've established that we can spot an older mower by design and wear patterns, what's so wrong with getting an older mower to fix then? Well, the short answer is parts and their availability. It's a known fact that trying to find parts for a machine that's older than most college students makes them pretty tough to find. But of course it goes beyond parts alone, and if this has happened to you before, you're going to know the reason why choosing an older machine is a really bad idea, and that's the cost. Now, because of supply and demand, the parts for a more current model, say from only a couple of years ago, parts will be more plentiful and easier to find. However, if you need to get a carb for a mower, say from the 1970s, it's going to be a bit more challenging to find that part and eventually pay for as well. Now, this mower is fortunately blessed with popularity, and because of that fact, even at 22 years of age, you can still find most parts for it at a reasonable price. That means this engine is still a viable choice to fix because so many were produced back then. Notice that I said engine and not mower. That's because the engine might span several years of production, but the mower itself might have only been made for a couple of years. That means you can't just look at the engine when picking a mower to fix, but you also have to look at the rest of it as well. Now, some of the more common parts that you might need to consider that are prone to breaking due to use and age are the wheels, grass bag, and possibly even the cables for the brake handle and the self-propel. That's when this particular mower goes from a good choice to a questionable one. To prove my point, these wheels are easy enough to find, but are in general twice as expensive to replace as typical ones. But just because the parts are more expensive to replace, does that make it a bad choice to fix then? The answer is not necessarily. However, it does mean for some, this might make the asking price much too high and make it tougher to sell. Well, that's just the wheels. What about the other parts? If you hadn't guessed it yet, the grass bag is also well overpriced along with other model-specific parts. Now, the more universal parts, like the cables, are a bit easier to pay for, but from then on, you're not going to be so lucky. There are certain parts on this mower that have been discontinued, and even the aftermarket are unwilling to reproduce them. And if you need one of these discontinued parts, what are you supposed to do then? Well, for some of you that are watching, you already know the answer, and it's a bitter pill to swallow. Well, you have two choices: either get another mower for parts, or you can use the one you have as a parts machine. Both have their advantages, but both are also very undesirable as well. The reason why is because you now have an entire mower to pick apart and then decide what to do with at the end of its usefulness. And if you choose to go this route, it means you won't be able to keep some part of that machine or the other machine from going to waste. Yes, you could take what's left to the metal recyclers, but it's still less than an ideal end to a machine that you could have saved if you could have gotten the parts you needed. Luckily, this mower didn't need new wheels, and if we did, it wouldn't have been worth fixing only because of how expensive they are. We were also fortunate that we didn't need anything else either, otherwise we'd have to consider how little profit we'd be okay with. That does bring up a good topic, which is the possible asking price for the mower you choose to flip. Some mowers are worth very little, while others can be extremely expensive even in the used market. So if you got a cheap mower to flip, hopefully it doesn't need a lot of work and parts, otherwise your profit margin is going to disappear into a void. But if you have a cheap mower that only needs a carb clean, a new air filter, and an oil change, it's definitely worth the effort. Now, this mower was fortunately valued quite high, mostly based on its condition and all the features it has. And despite not having a grass bag, this mower in my area during the mowing season would be valued over $250. That means I have quite a bit of room for parts replacement and service on it, but that does bring up the next topic: service. So what does the word service mean to you? The reason I ask is because your idea of service might differ from mine, so we could be talking about two different things, which is not ideal. To start off, service for me means the work that's needed to keep this mower running at its best. That's full lubrication, cleanings, and constant checking of fluids and operation of mechanical parts. But to others, it's just oil, spark plugs, and an air filter. So the big question that comes up when trying to fix these mowers is, do you have to do the service that has more than likely been neglected on them? Well, that's a tough one to answer because it depends if you care to use it as a selling point. Now, personally, I like to know that the used mower I just bought was fully serviced and ready to go, but you may not feel the same way. And if your ad never says it, then it's safe to assume that no service has been done to it either. So generally for me, I allude to it being fully serviced, but I don't like saying more than I'm comfortable with. Most often, I just say that the blade is sharp, the oil's been changed, and it has a new air filter. And I just leave out that I cleaned the mower from top to bottom, lubricated the wheels and cables, and most all the pivoting points. Otherwise, the buyers might have to question why so much work was done to it and might back out of the deal. Now, I was very fortunate with this mower. It already ran, so I didn't need to do any work to it other than cleaning it and servicing it. Now, it did need a new spring put into the handlebar for the self-propel, which wasn't that difficult to do at all. And in the end, I sold it to someone I know, so hopefully they're taking good care of it. Otherwise, you're going to be seeing it soon, but hopefully not too soon. Now, this mower was a no-brainer to fix up and flip, but if it needed more than a couple of parts, I'd really have to consider not selling it. And that's because it would be worth more to me if I just used it for my own personal lawn, which I would have no problems with. This mower is one of the best examples of an overbuilt residential mower right next to the older snappers, which were also fantastic machines. I hope I can find another example like this one to keep for myself, but with the changes in the market, I can see these being hard to find in the wild. So my question is, have you ever found a mower that you thought was just a bit too old to be worth fixing? And if you did, what was it and whatever happened to it? Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask me any questions about this project or about your own projects, and I hope to see you in the next video.